Attention viewer, you are watching the world's biggest Monster Truck Diecast YouTube channel. This is Monster Jam OCD.
Hello Monster Jam fans, and welcome back to another Monster Jam OCD review video. Today we are finally taking a look at the new Halloween truck for 2022, and I apologize for the delay on the video. I just received my sample. I just got home from Orlando, Florida for the 10K stunt, and these were waiting for me in the mailbox. So here we are with the new review of the 2022 Halloween truck. As always, before I do want to talk about the previous 3 Halloween trucks by Spin Master for Monster Jam. Here we are with 3 generations, and now moving on to the 4th one. The first one, of course, was in 2019 with the Halloween edition of Pirate's Curse. It was the Ghost truck featuring a lot of glow-in-the-dark parts. I still think it's one of the more underrated ones, but there is the Ghost edition of Pirate's Curse. Then we had in 2020 the well-known Great Clips Mohawk Warrior Vampire edition. This was another really cool release, as you can see there, with the bat wing for the Mohawk and the vampire face. So a well-done Halloween truck of a running truck on the Monster Jam fleet. And then last year, well known as well, is the Son of a Digger Halloween edition with the Pumpkin Graveyard or Scrapyard with the Boneyard Trucks roll cage, and they finally started to do BKT printing on the Halloween trucks per my suggestion, so I'm really glad they continue to do that up to this day. Now this year we're moving into a brand new edition of a Halloween truck. This one is not a real life running truck, but nonetheless it's a very fitting theme, and I'll explain why that is in just a moment as we bring it into frame for the first time. It is the Raven, and Raven is the Freebird casting as it's known. It used to be known as the Wildfire casting, and I'll explain why that is in a moment, but the Freebird casting, which has received a Superstore exclusive release paint scheme for the Independence Day release or 4th of July release back in 2020 when they first revealed that they were doing those. So this is really cool to see come back again for another Superstore exclusive edition. This is, again, like I said, fitting to the theme of Halloween, and there are many reasons why, but the first reason obviously is a raven, or most people call it a crow. They're most well known to be around cemeteries, and just their appearance is, to some people, off-putting, or sometimes can signify spirits and other things, whatever specific people believe on what ravens actually represent. But most people, when they see a crow, you know, in the moonlight, it's probably not the most comforting feeling. So Raven fits this dark Halloween idea, and I really like that they did this creative spin with this. It is also a secondary reference to the great poet Edgar Allan Poe, who wrote his own poem, which is one of his most famous, if not the most famous, The Raven. And there is a really cool quote on the back of this packaging, which I'll flip around in just a moment, that relates to his writing style. And those fans of Poe are mainly the ones that are actually buying these right now. And surprisingly, these are already halfway gone on the Superstore. So before I get into the unboxing, I just want to say, if you want to pick this up for your Halloween collection, if you guys have been collecting them all, or if you're just starting out your collections, on MonsterJamSuperstore.com, there are half of the units remaining. It might even be less today than it is at the time of filming, but this video is getting released on Halloween Day. But this is a very fast-selling Halloween truck. So let's check out the back of the packaging that I've been talking about. Here is the back. As you can see, it is written out in a poem style format. You can see it says, "Dark, dreary woods are its haven. The purple accented feathers of the raven, bearing weight on its wings, the desire for a place in Monster Jam lore. For any collector, this is the ultimate victory, attaining their goal, no longer a mystery. The date certainly going down in history, an avian prize put on their shelf to adore. A feat accomplished adding this trophy to their collection. It is the ultimate score, wanting this truck, nevermore." And that is, again, a callback to the final line of the Raven poem, which ends with, quoth the Raven, nevermore. So this is just super cool. And there is the rendering of the truck there. The Raven logo, the Monster Jam logo, has a nice blue outline instead of the typical yellow. And then we have pumpkins, which have been sort of a feature on most previous Halloween trucks. They finally brought them back. We used to see them with the Hot Wheels a lot more. But there are the little pumpkins down there, the pumpkin patch with the Spin Master logo. And the interior of the packaging we'll talk about. I'm going to unbox it right now on screen. And I like that the new packaging has this little tab here. It says Halloween Edition. And inside it says Limited Edition 1 of 5,000. And they say it again right here with the Raven logo there. So let's unbox the brand new Raven for the Halloween season of 2022 by Spin Master and Monster Jam. did my best to preserve as much of the package as I could, but I figured we might as well save some time by not having to do the whole box cutter and save the packaging. But it has a really awesome way of illustrating the artwork on this packaging. It looks like a book artwork, which would make sense since the poems are in books technically. And this illustration style is very rigid, but it's to the point and also to the theme of the truck, and it fits the theme of the truck. So you can see there's the details, a pumpkin patch. There is a Grim Reaper right there in a red and black cloak with red eyes and a red mouth, and then a raven in front of the moonlight with a red eyeball, and a couple other ravens in the trees. But I think this packaging is very simple, yet extremely effective because it is on par with the theme it's going for. So very nice Halloween packaging. They always do a great job with the Halloween stuff. And there's the logo once again, a Gothic style font for the Raven itself. Now here's the truck review. This is the Raven, and just to quickly, very fast recap what the Freebird casting has had in the past. The first debut of this bird casting was in the Monster Jam Fire and Ice lineup. It had the fire logo hidden beneath the wings, and it was called Wildfire at the time. And then the first edition of Freebird came out as your 4th of July truck for 2020. And it also featured the first and only Superstore truck and any Spin Master truck to have its planetaries painted in blue. I hope they'll do this again sometime. I think it would have been actually really effective to have red maybe inside for the planetaries. But the planetary paint was first released on Freebird USA Edition or Independence Day Edition with this American flag wrapped Freebird body, and that's when it officially was designated the Freebird name. And then we had a mainline release as an actual bald eagle, very American themed again, with a red, white, and blue setup and the eagle body with heavy detail. I really enjoyed this one. And there is the last Freebird casting until now with the Raven. So Raven, like I said, it's basically a crow, if you guys don't call it a raven. I don't think there's any distinction between the two birds unless there's a bird expert that wants to tell me in the comments that there is. But to me, those two go hand in hand. It is Halloween themed. It's mysterious and ominous, and I love this truck. It is a much more basic truck, I will say that, than previous releases. Of course, when you receive a real-life running Feld IP truck like a Gravedigger or a Son of a Digger, those have an underlying theme that they work on and create something out of. But this time, it's something that is an underlying theme, yes, with the bird casting, but brand new and still fits the Halloween theme. And that's what I applaud them for on this simplistic yet effective truck. So let's take a look at the tires, because there are BKTs printed on here. Every Superstore truck from now on, since the last year that we saw with the Mohawk Warrior, will have BKTs, and this is no exception to the rule. The BKTs are hidden with this really cool ghostly dark indigo color, but they're printed on there. You can see them right there and there, and it has indigo color rims to match those BKT printed tires with black as the actual tire color. I'm glad I didn't change these up. I think the black tires work well with this dark purple and black scheme. And then the roll cage is a gray purple color we've never seen before. It's really nice to see that. And the chassis is I want to say it's a charcoal, dark charcoal gray. It's not pure black, but it's very similar to the actual talons of the Raven. If you see the color there, very close to that for the chassis interior part. And there's the BKTs again. And let's take a look at the body detail. Now, under certain lighting, it's hard to tell that this truck is actually purple accented, but it is, like the packaging says. It has accented purple details in the feathers itself. The wings do function, and the arms, or the talons, do function as well. And overall, there's not a lot to talk about. It's kind of more of a look at it truck than explain it, but the feathers are heavily shaded, and you can see different levels of purple going into blues and also black. And on the actual feather itself, the insert piece, it's a gray color, similar to that of the chassis. You can see the tail feathers are also painted, and there's lots of little tiny details. The coolest part, I think, is the fact that the eyes are glowing red. It really sets apart the color palette itself when you go from purple to red. That extreme difference in the color wheel really looks awesome. And the beak is detailed. The windshield is the typical gray insert windshield. And the talons are actually super detailed as well. If you see, they did paint, it's hard to grab the detail here, but they did paint the top of the talons with some black detail on top. The nails, or the actual talons themselves, are black, and then the skin part of the talon, I guess you would say, is a gray color. So there is the Raven. The Raven is the newest addition to the Halloween fleet, not only celebrating Halloween, but also paying homage to the great poet. Edgar Allan Poe with his famous poem, The Raven. And this is now available for a very limited time, it appears, on MonsterJamSuperstore.com. Limited edition, one of only 5,000 units produced, and never to be seen again past that point on the Superstore. So thank you to Moss Jam and my friends there for helping me get this for review. I appreciate it, and happy Halloween to all my viewers and subscribers. You guys are awesome, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the review and reveal of the Blonde to the Bone Kristen Anderson exclusive Gravedigger. Until that next video, this is Ryan or Monster OCD, signing out.